Hey friends, Elliot here with Lazy Dogs Records, and I thought I'd do a showing of what I picked up recently. We had a record show in Carrboro, North Carolina, which was about an hour away from me. I drove back roads the whole way, beautiful scenery, Lake Jordan and all that. Didn't have to go through any of the urban centers until I got right there in Carrboro, and it really had a good time at the show. Loved the dollar bins. There was only one seller selling dollar records, but I found some good things despite that. What I like to do when I go to a record show is pick up things either when it originally came out, I wanted it, but I didn't have the money to buy it, or things I remember from my childhood, or things people tell me about and I have some interest in, or things that just get my curiosity up. So jazz is something I'm not real strong in. I know the major names. I know a little bit, but not much at all. Learned a lot on the vinyl community from Chris over Tunes from the Man Cave. I believe it is. John. There's several people that have offered a lot of information. A recent video on from the Rundown, I believe it was, about ECM record label, jazz label, helped me out a little bit on this trip too. So first I'll look at the jazz I picked up. The most expensive thing I bought was this, a Savoy Records. Now I was familiar with Savoy Records for the R&B work, but this is Charlie Parker, Bird, the Savoy Recordings, master takes, and really good condition. Paid $10 for this, and I looked it up later on Discogs. I don't do that while I'm at the store or anything, but when I looked it up later, I paid about what it's selling for on Discogs. A little less maybe when you factor in you got to pay shipping and things like that. Played this, it played perfectly without me even cleaning it first. So I was real pleased with that. Name I keep hearing about and seeing in reference to his work is Cannonball Adderley, the quintet here. Why Am I Treated So Bad? And that's a Capitol Records recording, player there. And a lot of records get marked down because of their jacket condition. I collect it for the music. I respect anybody that collects it as, and wants everything pristine and everything, and that's nice. I'd love to have it like that way, but I won't pass up a record if the vinyl looks good and the jacket is in rough shape. Well, here's several that were in kind of rough shape. The Art of Modern Jazz Quartet, the Atlantic Years, and it's been a well-used record. It's falling apart. I'll fix that as best I can and enjoy the music. Of course, I know who Duke Ellington is, and so I grabbed this one. Got real bargains on these records. There were 3 for $5, a lot of them. Chick Corea, I've always known the name. Return to Forever, I believe, was one of his groups there. And this is Inner Space. But here's the one I learned about on a vinyl community video a day or two before I went to the show. Chick Corea, Piano Improvisations Volume 2 on EMC or ECM, the jazz label out of Europe. The new Dave Brubeck Quartet here live at Monterey. This is he and his sons mainly, I believe, are the musicians on this. So that's the jazz I picked up. My wheelhouse is roots music mainly. Went to the record show in Raleigh a week or two, 3 or 4 weeks ago, and got moving too fast, and I picked up this album from Taj Mahal. Only problem was, didn't realize it had 2 records. It was a 2-record set, and only one of the records was in there. No wonder I got it so cheap. But this is Taj Mahal, Giant Step, and the old folks at home, and the legendary guitarist there, Davis. What's his Jesse Ed Davis, Native American gentleman, right there, died tragically way too soon. But that's what's playing right now is the Giant Step album on here. Got it real good price, $5 I believe. No, I got him to sell me 3 records that would have totaled $13. I got him to sell me the 3 records for $5, for $10. So I got it for less than $5. He said it had some surface noise on it. I don't hear it yet. I mean, maybe on the next record, but sounds good anyway. And then everybody, classic movie. If anybody hasn't seen that, I highly recommend you find that movie somewhere on Netflix or something. Here's the soundtrack that Taj Mahal did for Sounder. Great movie. This is the 3rd record I got, the 2 Taj Mahals. He wanted $5 each for those. He wanted $3 for this. Got him to, I guess, in essence, throw this one in. Marsha Ball, Hot Tamale Baby, and seen her in concert. She's a piano player. Oh man, she is good. She'll swing her legs over to the side of the piano and cross them, and just swing that top leg with the beat and just pound it out. Just a really good performer. I'm looking forward to listening to this one. Why would you pass up a Stevie Wonder record? I was made to love her. Stevie Wonder. Never pass up a Ray Charles record if it's in even decent shape. Genius plus soul equals jazz, Ray Charles. And I remember learning about Roy Buchanan when I was in high school. My older brother's friends, I was over at their house one time. They were letting the younger punk kids hang out. Not punk, but young kids hang out at their house one time for some reason. I don't know why. We put on a Roy Buchanan album, the first one I believe it was. This is the 2nd album. In fact, it's titled Roy Buchanan, 2nd album. Great guitar player. Again, died way too soon. Hey Chester, I'm showing some records right now, buddy. And then I got some rock. Marianne Faithfull. Yeah, show them, Chester. Yeah. Spirit, the first 2 records. Help me, Chester. Ian Matthews, Guess Who? Traffic. Jeff Beck. Mitch Ryder. I collect Capricorn Records albums, and here's one I didn't have yet, Stillwater. And let's see what else we've got here. Free, a live Free album. I always hear about Free, and of course know their song All Right Now. But a lot of bands I think were heavily influenced by Free. Jackie DeShannon. Great memory. My daughter and I went to see Heart in concert together one time when I think she was in junior, senior in high school or freshman in college or something. Had a great time at that, so picked up a Heart album. Here's one of Boss Skaggs' early, not his earliest, but one of his early albums. My Time. One of those bands I never really had any of the music for, but wanted, but couldn't afford to buy everything. Here's Mountain, Twin Peaks. Love Dave Edmunds. When I was listening to hardly any rock and roll, I was listening to Dave Edmunds and Nick Lowe. Still Spam. Puff Commander Cody and his Lost Planet Airmen. That one's got Lost in the Ozone and Hot Rod Lincoln on it. Remember Hot Rod Lincoln? That was just a fun little song here. And I'll show these. I couldn't remember who this was, and then it dawned on me after looking at the record and seeing Ian and Sylvia's names on it. This is the backing band for Ian and Sylvia, taken from a Roy Acuff song. Their band name was Great Speckled Bird. Only I think there's 2 albums, but the other one was an Ian and Sylvia album featuring them. I always try to collect the first few albums I remember buying, and here's one of the first handful of records I ever bought, and that was Steve Miller Band, The Joker. And this is another one I bought, one of the first records I ever bought, Charlie Daniels, Honey in the Rock. And we didn't have a record store in my little town. The only place you could buy records were at the 5 and Dime store. And a drugstore also started carrying records at one time, I believe. And they would have a rack there with maybe 50 or 100 records there at most. So the selection was pretty slim, but I got those too. Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. This one's Dirt, Silver and Gold, I believe it's called. The Kings of the Triple Record album. Had to be Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. I think this was their 3rd album, Pure Prairie League. Love Pure Prairie League. Hey, I was thrilled to get this one after Emmylou Harris got popular. After introduction to Graham Parsons and doing the GP album and her solo work, somebody had some tapes of Emmylou prior to that, and this is a Gilded Bird, probably questionable whether they had the rights to this, but they got it out after her success, and I picked that up for a couple of bucks. I always buy Ray Charles, Chet Atkins, Johnny Cash, and there's a few others I have a rule I always buy. Johnny Cash, Big River, Johnny Cash, the fabulous Johnny Cash, In Rough Shape. But you do not play the jacket, you play the record. The Sun Years, Best of Charlie Rich. Love Jerry Jeff Walker. And here's an album I didn't previously have. I think this is from '72, if I'm not mistaken. You see these records all the time. Y'all will be able to pick them up for $1. They're great acoustic guitarist, Leo Koke. Wild Man, Doug Kershaw, fiddle. And if you see a George Jones album, buy it. George Jones, Why Baby Why. Okay, I've gone longer than I intended to go, but that's the way it goes. And my record just finished playing, the Taj Mahal record. So, hope you enjoyed having a look at some of the records I picked up. I did get a few more, but those were the highlights. So I'll leave you and say, be good, remember, be kind to your neighbor, and always remember, everybody is your neighbor. It's a small world out there. Treat everybody kindly. Take care.